What is going on, you midnight monster hunters? Welcome to No Rest Gaming. I'm your host, the one, the only Devilman, and today I figured I might as well start a brand new series to my channel. Maybe give me a little bit more motivation to make more videos, more gameplay, more everything else. This series, I think I'm going to dub it Devilman's Friendly Advice, where I just take a couple minutes and rant about some things that should be friendly advice to you and to my past self here. And maybe one of these days, one of these kids will learn what it's kind of like, being me, I guess. So today's friendly advice from Devilman himself is going to be about one, finding a nice stogie and lighting that sucker up, and two, college. My friendly advice about college is fucking don't. Plain and simple. Don't go to college. I'm going to tell you why. See, back in the late 70s, early 80s, well, actually, right before then, probably mid 75 range and before, schools, colleges were mainly funded by the government. About 80%, I think it was funded by states and the federal government, whereas another 10% was by, alumni and donors and fundraisers and stuff like that. And then another 10% was, by you and me students. Plain and simple, as I tuck back in here in my marvelous beard. Well, unfortunately, 80s came along. They said greed is good, and they changed that whole practice. They made a couple of laws. They changed the way funding worked for schools, and now students bear the brunt of it. Students bear the 80% funding to schools. So colleges got more expensive because they weren't getting as much funding. And during the early 80s and late 80s, they saw a pretty good decline in people going to school. It's too expensive to afford. So what did they do? They brainwashed you. Every single show that I remember growing up, because I'm a millennial, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Every single show I remember around that age where I'm about ready to go into high school or getting out of junior high was just like, you should go to college. You should go to college. That's how you make the money. You get to go to college. That's how you make the money, son. You got to go to college. Well, guess what? That's a fucking lie. It's a plain lie. I don't know where this came from, but it is a lie. Maybe back in the late 80s and early 90s, they remembered it's like, oh, hey, that's how you get a good job, is you have to go to college. Maybe they're still on that old practice. Well, the problem is that shit don't apply anymore. And now it's like if you graduate college, you'll be lucky to still get a minimum wage job and not, a full-time minimum wage job. And we all know minimum wage don't pay shit. You can't pay bills on minimum wage. You have to get 4 different jobs at minimum wage just to make a living. It's a lie. Don't go to school. Don't go to college. Don't do that shit. Because it'll put you in debt and it'll ruin your life forever. I mean, unless you have mommy and daddy backing you up, unless you've studied hard, you're like, yeah, I knew in 10th grade I was going to become an actor. Yeah, I knew in 10th grade I was going to become a marine biologist. Yeah, I knew in 10th grade I was going to become a VP of a major company. So I had to go to school for that to get my MBA and all that other bullshit. Fine, give it a try. Don't listen to me. But I'm going to tell you right now, your fucking dreams are shit. Or shit. You have like a 1 in like 1,000 chance of completing college, getting your dream job that you want, and not being poor for another fucking 60 decades. Yeah, that's right, I said 600 years, because I'm an idiot. But you get the gist of it. So I'm going to tell you a little story here. So, right out of high school, right before 9/11 and everything, I went to college. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of forced to go. Kind of didn't want to go. So I kind of squandered a couple years there, built up some student debt because I had to get student loans to go to college. Well, that didn't pan out, so now I got $30, $40, $50,000 student loan debt. All right, I guess that'll work. That's now on my shit forever. Let's see what kind of jobs I can get. Fucking still can't get any. In Michigan, it was, if I was lucky, I was making $6 or $7 an hour. $6 or $7 a goddamn hour. Then I finally ended up getting a job because I knew somebody who knew somebody, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm making $10, $11 an hour. Fine, let's do that shit. Well, here I am now, 2020, still poor as shit. And if there's any piece of advice I can give you guys is don't go to college. In 2009 and 09, I decided to go back to college. I wanted to be a web designer. I was like, yeah, I really like web design. I'm getting into it. I like it. It's something I might be able to make money off of. Went to school, got my degree in web design. Still can't get a fucking job in web design. 10 years later, no one will hire me for web design. There's too many other people out there who can do web design. Too many people can do it better than me. So that's just life. Like I said, you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting your dream job. You have 1 in 1,000 chance, maybe 1 in 500 chance of being successful at whatever you do after you get out of college with your degree. But that's life, man. What I suggest is, again, don't go to college. I now have, I would guess, around $70,000, $80,000 in student loan, which I can't pay back. Can't even come close to paying back. You hear horror stories all the time about people who will get their bills and will say, hey, last year you had $29,000 in student loans. Last year you paid $40,000 in student loans. For next year, you still have $27,000 in student loans. That's how bad the interest is, because student loans will kill you, and you can't. It's a pain in the ass to get them erased due to bankruptcy. You'd have to provide special circumstances, and all we can really hope is Papa Joe will get in office and he'll listen to all us liberal fucktards out there and be like, hey, I guess we should cancel student debt. It is like a couple $1 trillion debt that'll never be repaid, period. And then maybe they'll put the fucking colleges back the way they're supposed to go, for the people, not by the people, not putting people in debt. And yeah, that's just the hope. So, friendly advice: don't go to college. You want some more anecdotal evidence here? Anecdotal evidence. I love that. Out of all my friends, I was the only one to go to college, not once, but twice. I'm the only one of my friends who actually has a fucking degree. Yeah, that's right, a fucking degree. I actually have one. Can't do anything with it. But I got a degree. Out of all my friends, I'm the only one who's not on track to buying his own house. That's right. All my friends that I've ever knew that would never went to college, they was like, you know what, we'll get into this industry. We'll get into this industry. All my friends are now looking at houses to buy. Everyone I know is looking at houses to buy. Not me. I can't save up 2 cents to fucking rub together. Not me. Because you know why? Don't make any fucking money. Even the money I make, minimum wage at best, don't make a damn dime. Make enough to keep the house running, make enough to pay the bills. Can't pay back no student loans. That would never fucking happen. I can't even make $5 payment, a piddly $5 payment to a fucking student loan because money is tight. Don't go to college. Don't do it. Just go right into the work sector, work your ass off, schmooze your ass off, rub elbows with whoever you can need to rub elbows with, and get your job that way, because college is a fucking waste. College is nothing. You're not going to get that weird. The best you'll get from college is maybe laid every once in a while, because college girls can be stupid, just like college boys. So that's about it. That's your experience away from home. You could do better. Go get a fucking job, scramble the shit out of it, beat the shit out of that job, make it your bitch. Go get your own apartment. You can have your own apartment in like a fucking like year. You can get out of your mom and dad's house, whatever. Just get out of it. Just go to work. Just work your ass off. Find out whatever you gotta do. Work the shitty job. I wish I would have come back in time. Just work the stupid McDonald's job. Work the fucking stupid cashier job. And just do it, man. You'll be happier in the end. Work there for like 2 years. That's your thing. I would say go in the army, but don't go into the fucking army. I mean, it's good. The army is a good thing in place of college if you're dedicated to it. But right now there's just so much. Like, if you're a female, don't go in the army. If you're female, do not go. If you're gay, do not go. If you're trans, do not go. There's so much weird pride and bullshit and rape and harassment and abuse and everything that goes on in the military. Fucking just don't go, bro. Until they get that shit cleaned up, don't go. There's still people right now that can't get fucking, there's that one chick, I forgot what her name was, and I feel bad for about. They still can't fucking find her. I think they just found her like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, yeah, she was missing from Fort Hood, but who knows what the fuck it went. There's so much sexual harassment in the military. Don't go. Just go straight to work. Don't go to college. Don't go to the military. Go straight to work. Find a job somewhere. Beat that job's ass so you can move to someplace else. Always be looking for the next best job. Always be looking for the next best stogie. And don't go to college. This is Devilman saying, this has been your friendly advice. Be smart. Save money. Don't go to school.